with Basket Case Mama Fab Finds, and I am here to do a haul video. I think I'm on 19, 20, something like that. I'm doing them kind of back to back to back to back to back to back. And then like my processes. So for those that don't know, if you're joining, hi, thanks for coming in. I hope you like the content. But I'm a reseller, retired, and I have my own business beyond reselling, called Go Godly Worldwide, which is an online curriculum video game thing for kids that is Christian based and Bible based, and it's been about 5 years of writing curriculum and getting things set up to go into the computer, and then it's going to go from, sorry, my glasses are filthy, they're all fingerprinted up, but I'm going to go from there. Once I'm finished this part of it, then I can switch the company over and make this business, for the eBay business, an LLC, and the Basket Case Mama Fab Finds, and then I can take the other one and make it a nonprofit so that we can seek funding to build the online community and all that good stuff. And that is a very big and expensive process. About 3 years ago, the quote I got from the company that I'd really like to work with, it's a Christian company, and there's a lot of people there that work for Disney and Pixar and places like that. So highly talented people, and they started their own company, and it was like 1.2 million then, for an RPG 3D video game. Now that it's kind of evolved from my initial concept to what we've gotten to today, it's probably way more than that. So it's become very involved. And for those that don't know, as I said, I'm retired, and I grew up when video games first started, like Atari, but even before there was Pong, which you could only play like in a bar, or my dad actually bought like the table with 2 chairs, like it was flat top table, and for our bar area, which was literally part of our room. If you've ever watched like the show about the advertising agency that was on HBO years ago, and I can't remember the name of it, but Ad Men or something. I think it was Ad Men or something like that. But Mad Men, that was it. Anyway, that show it's set like in the 60s, I think, but that's kind of how things were. We had like shag carpeting, and we had like a bar, and we had a leather couch, and we had the Pong table. It was the late 70s when we moved into that house. But anyway, so we had this, and that was like, I grew up then. And then, when I went out into the world and I was working on a waitress, there was like a caterpillar game, and I used to like to play that, and I could play Pac-Man. I was really good at the caterpillar game, but that was about it. Like, my dad years later, he had a house that had like a game room in the basement, and they had like a penguin game and something else. But by then I was in my like 30s, and I wasn't terribly interested in video games. My son, of course, did all that stuff. But so for me, when we got to this place within the prayer and everything, like, I wrote all the curriculum originally to be something simple, like print out a PDF, fill it out, and scan it and send it back to us kind of mentality, to where we are now, which is like full on chaos in my brain day to day. So it's very different, but it's cool and it's awesome. And what I need, I pray, and I get what I need to understand, at least enough to make the people that are going to program it and create it understand. And that's all I really need to know. There will be people to take care of that, and there will be people to handle the computer and the IT. I don't need to know that. I need to know how to, like, look up the Bible stuff and make it kind of fun, and envision the area in which the games will be played for each level, and how they'll find the clues and get the answers. So that's all I need to know. I don't need to know other stuff. So it's okay. And I still want it to be educational, not just a fun video game. So it's kind of in my brain. It's really kind of complicated in my brain a lot of times. I spend a lot of time taking a deep breath and just putting my head down on the table and say, okay, God, I just need you to tell me stuff now, because my brain is exploding again, because it explodes like pop rocks in there sometimes, honestly. So this is part-time, or what it was supposed to be. It's part-time to help just supplement my retired income, because I did retire early, so I don't get Social Security. And I am just trying to, pay off some bills and, credit cards and things like that, because I'm supposed to be debt-free, and God had said, get your house in order, and there's a lot going on. We're supposed to move, and so we're fixing up this house, and not that it needs a lot, but so there's a lot going on all the time. But anyway, so this part of the video though is about my reselling journey. There will be Go Godly stuff coming up, hopefully soon. I was working on getting the vlog set up on Canva done, so hopefully that'll be coming out soon, so I'll have another channel for that, and then I'll have less time because these videos take so much time to edit. It's crazy. So, but anyway, this haul is kind of a mix mash of things that I found. I think some of it is yard sale, some of it is thrift shop. So we'll go through and I'll show you stuff, and I try to keep it about 20 minutes, 27 minutes, like just under a half hour. So we'll go until we're getting close, and then we'll cut it and I'll do another one. So hopefully I can get all this stuff listed pretty soon, because the picture taking and the listing does take time as well, and pricing everything out. But I will pop the price up here of the items, because I'll give you what I think it's worth, and then I'll put up here what I researched and found out it really is worth, because sometimes those numbers are not the same. But it's an educated guess, because I have a general idea. So this guy here is called Tanner. I actually have a nephew named Tanner. He is cuter than this. He's in college now, but he still has a pretty bow. He's adorable. He's more like a grayish color than a tan, but he is a Beanie Buddy, or a Beanie Classic, sorry, but he's vintage from 2002. He's super cute. And this is what the tag looks like. I do like these tie tags, because almost always they do have the date on them, so it's super easy. It says Tilux on this. Buddies usually do say up here Beanie Buddy, but they have the same design as a classic, so they tend to do better. Beanie Babies, not so good. And don't believe that they're selling for $10,000. They're not. There's some kind of craziness going on. And the way you can tell it's craziness when you see these high prices on things and you're researching, and I don't see them as much lately. When I first started 2 years ago, like doing this as a business, I saw them a lot, these like outrageously crazy prices for things. But you can tell that there's something going on there, whether it's a person, like a friend of theirs, buying it, like, and then just getting paid back, or like the sale doesn't go through or whatever, or they sell it, they put that the title, and then they take an offer, but it doesn't show you that, like, what the offer is, unless you go into the back and look through Terapeak and all that kind of stuff. So they took a like $4 offer on a Beanie Baby, but it was sold for $10,000. So now you can kind of see those things a little more apparently, but when I started 3 years ago, they'd see those. But the thing that you can tell when you see something fishy that looks like outrageously high, it just, maybe it's true, because sometimes there are things that are really rare or really obscure, or and they can be true, but and there are collectors of Beanie Babies out there still, but they have to be super unique, and it's not just tag errors. You'll see, oh, tag error, like there's lots of tag errors. If sometimes there's like a whole bunch of them that went out with tag errors. If 2 or 3 are tag errors, then that's something very unique. But even then, they're not selling for $10,000 generally, or $600 or whatever. But when you look, you'll see, after your name on eBay, it'll show how many transactions you've had, and then it'll show the same for the seller, how many things or transactions they've had that they've completed. So if you see a 0 and a 0, that's a really good indication that something hinky's going on, because these are people that create an account, do one thing, and then create another account and do one thing. And I don't know, eBay probably does things about that too, but you'll see that. That's like a thing. And there's sellers out, there's resellers out there that will not take a sale from a person with 0, because sometimes they're problems, they're scammers, they're problems, they're returners, they're just out there to be a pain. For me, sometimes they're just new people, so you have to, I try to be gracious to everybody, but fool me once is all you'll ever get. Fool me once and then you'll be blocked. So that's why they keep creating new things. So if if that happened a lot and I had to worry about it, then maybe it would change. If I was selling thousands of things a week and I was getting a lot of people doing that, I might change what I'm doing because, it would ruin it for all the new people. Sorry. But anyway, Tanner's classics like this, dogs do really well for me. They tend to sell well, but I'm going to say he's probably in the $20 range. Generally, that's about, some of them are less, like 17, 19, 99, 18. Some of them go for 25, 30. Depends on the dog. I have a Weimaraner, I think that was worth a little bit more than I expected, but you know when you know. So this little velour lovely piggy, so cute little piggy. His name is Biddle. So the little Biddle pig, and it is a book by David Kirk, and it's a Biddle soft toy, and it does have his original tags with him, and I know nothing of this, but it's 2001, so it is vintage. And as a writer of children's books, I always appreciate little things like this. I think it's kind of cute. It's by Yo Toy Productions. So there's the tag. Sorry, I don't know where my camera is because my phone flipped over, but there's the tag. So yeah, so I would guess he's probably maybe 12 to 15, even with the tag, because I never heard of that book. But if that book is special, then it'll be a whole different story there. But again, I'll pop those up here and let you know. So this little guy here, look how cute he is. It's a squirrel. I can't let my dog see this because my dog likes the squirrels. The squirrels in our yard and my dog are best friends. The squirrels would literally come onto my patio and stand about maybe a foot away from the door. They're not that trusting. Basically, can Olive come out and play? Olive loves to come out and play. They play chase around the yard, and those squirrels are very brave. They're not very afraid of her, and she's fast, but they're just fast enough, more fast, just enough more fast that they don't have to worry faster. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet, but this is kind of an unusual Harmach tag, so I gather it might be a little bit older. But yeah, he's got little teeny ears here, and I'm going to say 10 to 12 probably. Again, there's some things that are really exciting. This is cute. This is a Gun Kids, and he is a magnitude, and he's got magnets in his hands and in his feet, so you can like hang him on things. And he's a lion, and he's really soft. He's got some beanies in his body. Now I will tell you, magnets. I do have to go check and make sure he didn't get recalled for something, because sometimes things like this do, in which case that'll be a problem. But there is a site you can go on to. It's like a government site. You can go look up things and just search by gunned lion, and it'll show you any gunned lions that have been recalled of late, and you can see them. And if that one's there, then just don't list it. And since the plush that I get generally are 50 cents a piece, that's great. And then I don't have to really worry about it. I can just, I have kids at church that I can give them to. It's fine. That are big kids that aren't going to figure out how to get the battery out of it and eat it, because that's usually what happens, that it gets recalled. But usually with gun and things like this, these are companies that are very good about child safety on their products, so you don't get problems like that usually, but every now and then something will go awry. So for those of you in the Philadelphia area, you'll recognize this cute guy. He is our Philly fanatic, and he's cute. He's always cute. He's a panic. I do remember when we didn't have a Philly fanatic, because I am that old. And he was a limited edition Philly fanatic beanbag character. He still has his tag. He was from something that Mellon Bank did at the thing. He is the Mellon Bank was the official bank of the Phillies. I don't think they are anymore, so let's see what year this was. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But it's got, that's what the tag on it is. So it says Mellon Bank on that side, and it says Made in China. It has Phillies on this side. which is cool. And I'm going to, why this all matters, you'll know in a minute. I'm showing you a lot of detail for a reason. So he's got on the little Hawaiian shirt outfit, tail. I don't think he has another tag. That's the only tag is on the shirt, right? Yeah, there's not a tag on him himself. Double checking, because you'll understand in a minute. Anyway, so that's him. And as you say, he's got the little Philly cap on. And he's worth maybe $8, maybe $10. No big deal. Here, I have two. Now, normally, I have two. Would be, okay, that's cool. You know, that's no big deal. But again, he's, you know, got the Philly on the side. And they really do pretty much look alike. This one has, you know, they both have like the top. They both have the cap like that. So, they, I mean, the felt buttons, they're pretty much, yeah. This one, the tail is like that. This one, the tail is got smushed a little bit, but it still will go like that. It's just the pants are pushing on it, so it's just, you know. So they are the same, and the reason I'm bringing this up is they are the same. This one doesn't have his hang tag here anymore, and when you look at this tag is wrong. Okay, the tag on that one, I don't know if I showed you, it was like specifically Mellon Bank, and it had the, you know, the information with the Phillies on the back of it. This one, however, has none of that. And this one says Mattel, Arco Toys. It has Disney on it. Disney. I know there's a little dispute. I did do some research about this, by the way, because I could not figure out. Sorry. There we go. So, and on this side, there's no Phillies at all. So I did reach out to Rebel Reseller. If you don't watch her and you like plush and you like toys, she's the girl to watch. Her channel on YouTube is New to You Toys. She sells a lot of those. She sells other stuff too. And she and her husband Robert have a channel. I'll pop her link down below. But I reached out because this was very strange to me, and I was asking her if she knew anything about it. She doesn't know a lot about sports, so she didn't really understand, I don't think, even what this was. So if you're watching Rebel, this is him. He's a mascot for the Philadelphia Phillies. Anyway, but that doesn't make sense to me, the Mattel. And everywhere I've looked, and I have not found anything. The only thing I found was a Philly Fanatic was sewn backwards, and it was an error, you know, which is a big error. Like, that's just like, but tag errors are different. Like, this is saying, like, it. I'm sure it's just the factory put the wrong tag on it at some point. But the fact that I have two of them and one of them has a weird tag really has me freaked out a little bit. So I don't know that this I mean, this just could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could be worth $800. I don't know what to do about it yet. But I'm doing some research. I'm digging deep. Did find out that I think there was some dispute about who owned the images of this, and I want to say the person who created this costume may have worked for Disney at some point, but I don't think Disney owns the Fanatic at all. Now, through the sports and ESPN, because they own ABC, they own ESPN, and a lot of other things, perhaps there's some connection. But the fact that one has that tag and this has this tag, and they're in the same costume, I'm going to guess they were done about the same time, is strange. So I'm going to guess this is wrong and this is a mistake. But is it a mistake that makes it worth something? Because I don't find any other that have this mistake anywhere, and you would think if it was a mistake that happened on more than one or two, someone would have them. So I'm still on the hunt. I'm going to go dig deeper, but so far I haven't figured it out completely. And I may just end up pricing it up on an auction and see what happens, because it's a weirdo, and put it under sports instead of like under plush. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that, but it's a strange unicorn, that one. So this is a little, and they, like I said, they were 50 cents. So I really don't have anything to lose by seeing what I can do with it. But this is Lido London Limited. It is a little tramway car with a horse. It's metal, I believe, die cast, and they were models of days gone by. Obviously, it was, you know, vintage looking, and this one is, I think, 1985 maybe, I don't know, 1983. So it was made in England, according to this one, Enfield, England. It was $3, and I'm going to say probably 10, maybe 15. And then we have this guy. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, he's the cutest thing I ever did see. Just the cutest thing I ever did see. Yes, he is. So he's got little overalls on. He's just cute. I just think he's cute. I have something about little, like, cuddle, like you just want to cuddle them like a baby dolls. Yeah, I just have a thing for them. So he does have a tag somewhere in here under his jeans. I do know who he is. He is Creative Concepts. He doesn't have a date on him, but I'll show you the tag. It's a teeny little tag, but hopefully you can see that. There we go. Creative Concepts. So anyway, he's darling. His eyes are like sleepy eyes. And I don't know, he's just so cute. Anyway, I'm going to say probably 15 to 20 for him. Because he's thinking cute. We'll finish up with the plush first. So this guy here is by Russ. He is a nylon bunny. I do need to stitch up the foot. If you're looking for nylons, Puffalumps come in the same kind of material. They all kind of do really well, but notoriously, they fray at the seams. The nylon does not hold up too well. So it's a pretty easy fix. I'll just like fold it over and do a little stitch along there and hand stitch it closed. But there is the Russ tag. I'm going to guess he's probably from the 80s. I don't think he has a date on him, but that's my guess. And I'm going to say for this one, he's probably, if he sells at Easter time, this was bought right before Easter, and it just, I just don't have enough time to get things done. So, but if he sold around Easter, he'll probably go for 15, 20. If he sells before then, he'll probably go 15, 17, maybe a little less than 15. But again, we'll pop it up here. So, but he's cute. Sometimes they go for more, so it could be more. Now, I do not pick up Squishmallows anymore because the Squishmallow party that was going on before has pretty much come to an end, but he's a Squishmallow and he's a bunny, and it was near Easter, and I did pick him up, and he's little and he's cute. And believe it or not, some of the little ones, like the keychain ones and things, sell decent, but the regular big ones don't sell for anything anymore. But he's a Kelly Toy one. Now, for those that know, Kelly Toy I don't think owns Squishmallows anymore. I think Jazzwares owns it now, unless Jazzwares is just a division of Kelly Toy, which is possible. But he was cute, and I figured he was 50 cents, and even if he's $8, I made a really decent profit. And if he isn't $8, again, he can be a little gifty for my kids at school, at Sunday school, because I have Sunday school kids, and sorry, I have to keep going down into the bag. So this is just a little receiving blanket, but it's got kites and balloons on it, and it's like the flannelly material. It's definitely vintage. I picked it up, it didn't have a tag, so I knew that it was probably worth minimum 5 to 7, but if it was any of the brands that are like very sought after, there's some baby blankets that have balloons and things on them that are, I'll pop the name up. My brain, coffee. Need more coffee. Need more coffee. And I'm not queen of everything. My co-leader of Girl Scouts gave me that, because for Girl Scouts I was queen of everything at the time. But some of the manufacturers of these baby blankets go for a lot of money, and those that watch know I picked up a vintage Pooh from like 2000 waffle knit baby blanket with the little satin edges. Waffle knit, satin, always a good thing. I have one. I'll show you in another video, probably not this one, but if you get those together, that's always a good thing. And almost always they're worth like more than 20, sometimes more than 100. But this had like the vintage poo on it, which is what my daughter's room was done in when she was born, and it was, she was a baby. And she had one, but it had a stain on it. So I grabbed it because I thought, oh, this is great. I could put it away if she wants it. And then someday when she has a baby, she could have the same blanket, only it won't have a spit up stain on it. Wouldn't that be great? And I just happened to have it in my stuff, and I was looking it up, and it was worth $150. And she said, go ahead and sell it because she's not that sentimental. And I was like, okay. And it sold for the full ask, $150. It just sold a couple weeks ago. So I didn't even have it like a full month, and it sold. So Pooh Bear blanket with the old-fashioned poo on it with the satin edges. It's like a cream color. Pick that baby up, and you can go back and see what it looks like in my May what sold video, because it's in there, because it sold in May. So I try not to pick up too much China, because China is a hard sell. And as I say that, there's plenty of China in the next few videos. But this is by Coldport. And it's just really pretty. It's like got the gold edge. It's got no gold. Like the gold is in such good condition. And for those that know, the gold wears off when you use it a lot. This is called Ming Rose. And this was like $3. So I probably can get 20. Maybe a little more for it, but it takes a long time to sell, so be forewarned. So it will probably sit for quite a bit. Now this next thing that I picked up, I only picked this up, and I picked up, I think, 4 of them, 4 sets, and they will sell individually, but they're teacups and saucers, and some of them are shaped like this. I'll show you the other shape, but this pattern is called the straw pattern. And the straw pattern, anything blue and white always does pretty well anyway. But this one is this isn't by the first person I saw it by, because the first one company, I think it was a Swedish company. But they're vintage. This is by Winter League, I think. I think it's German. Bavarian. So you can see there. You can also see I paid 75 cents for it. So anyway, I saw this pattern, and I didn't, I looked at the bottom, and it wasn't the same name, but I knew it was the straw pattern because I've seen the pattern. I sold the pattern before. I had it before. And I thought, that's strange. I didn't know anybody else made it. Maybe, but it's kind of an older pattern too. So they had a bunch at the thrift shop, and I just grabbed them and put them in the cart because I knew they were definitely worth more than $1.50. $7.75 and $75 is $1.50. So I figured I'll just grab them because I know the other ones did pretty well. So I'm going to say per set, 30 to 40 per teacups, like 2 cup and saucers. If I lot them up, a couple of them, probably 100 a pair. So yeah, it was just interesting. Excuse me while I go down, because I'll show you the other cup size. The saucers pretty much look the same, but this is the other cup, and you can see now this pattern is a little bit not quite as pristine as the other one, but it's the same company. There's another in there that's a different company, which is it's just so weird. It's just so weird, but cool nonetheless. Just weird. So I want to say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 total. So I might do 2 pairs of 2, or I might do them single, depending on. And again, even then, I'm going to have to wait. They're not going to sell quickly, but it'll work out, So this is a Dorman Pacific felt hat. It's wool, 100% wool. Lana. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a large, extra large size, which is decent. But it has the leather trim on it, and it's just, it's kind of your outback cowboy. It's not cowboy. It's more like Australian outbacky kind of hat. But these hats do pretty well. This one isn't like $100 hat. I had a Greg Norman hat that sold for like $80, like a golf hat. So if you see them, they're like straw. You might want to pick those up. But this one I don't think goes for quite that much. But I'm going to say probably $30 to $40 all day long. So that'll be good. So that's all for this haul. We're at that mark of about 30 minutes. So I will be back with another haul and another haul and another haul and another haul, because Tuesday is probably going to be thrifting again. I didn't go out this weekend to do yard selling. We had a graduation party, and our neighbors graduated from college, and it was raining, and you know, I just didn't feel like driving miles for nothing in the rain. I just didn't think it would be a good day. I mean, there were a lot around supposedly, but rain is a game changer. So and it was cold too. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to do it today. I really don't need to do it right this minute. I do prefer to do my thrifting May and June and September and October, because it's really hot in July and August here. But the weather's not cooperating, and my schedule didn't cooperate in May. So it's going to be what it's going to be. But I do have a church sale coming up in July. That is one of my favorites. So I'll definitely make sure I hit that. And this is like July and August become church sale time around here. So those are pretty nice because they're not outside and they're not usually hot. So I'll try to gravitate toward those until the weather breaks again. And, I'll hit the thrift shops and see what I can get. And it's fine because I have a lot to list. So I'm not really hurting for anything. I don't have a huge pile. They call it a death pile. They call it a money pile. I prefer to think of it as a money pile. So if you don't list it, you can't sell it. But lately on eBay, it's been hit or miss with listing. There's stuff going on eBay. If you are a reseller and you're having issues like everybody else is supposedly talking about it. I know I was watching Kevin, who's Commonwealth picker, the other day. His link I'll put down there too, if I remember. It's talking about, when he puts a sale on, his listings don't show up. They you search for them, but they're not there. And he mentioned this a few weeks ago that he was having that problem too, which would explain so much about what's going on the site, because I will have a really good day and then nothing for 3 days, and then a really good day and nothing for 3 days. It's crazy. I have no idea what's going on. So I don't know. I'm listing and I'm doing all the things that I have to do on my end to make the algorithm cooperate. I just need eBay to make the algorithm cooperate, because whatever it is, it's them doing things in the background. So if y'all are going to the eBay thing in Vegas in August, I don't know who would go to Vegas in August for anything. I'm certainly not, but it's hot there in August. Good. It's hot there all the time, but in August, no way. It's going to be like 150 degrees. Not quite, but it's going to be over 100. So no, I'm good. I'll pass on that. But they're doing like some kind of eBay thing there, business thing. And everybody can go. The store, everybody's invited. That's a reseller. And if you're there, could you ask them to stop doing whatever the hell they're doing, please? Because it's bad. It's just bad. I have not had. January was a great month, which is always a terrible month. February was pretty good. That's also a terrible month. March to now has been abysmal. And I mean abysmal. March was bad. April was worse. May was worse than that. And June so far isn't shaping up to be great. I mean, it was good a couple times. May 31st was really good. And then there's been a couple days between then and now. This is being recorded, I think, on the 14th. So it's halfway through the month of May, and I'll probably sold 20 things, maybe 20 things. And that's probably exaggerating the truth of the matter, which is not good at all. I mean, 20 things would be 20, 30 things would be a weekend. I haven't sold that much, and it's been 2 weekends. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And at first I was just saying, okay, it was a new election year. Some things changed. People, get nervous. There was the economy wasn't great, but once things settle, things usually pick up, and people, and with talking about tariffs and things, people get nervous. But honestly, on eBay, you're not going to be concerned with that unless you're buying things from buyers in China, or other countries where you're buying things out. So I don't sell overseas at all unless someone specifically asks me to ship, and it's already going to be expensive and they know it, and it's something they really want and they don't care. So I've sold things overseas to several different countries on request, but I don't have it set up international shipping in my store. So my sales have never been impacted by anything international. I could see if you had a lot of international sales, maybe you're feeling a pinch about it right now because of the tariffs going on and, back and forth and things happening. But generally I don't. And, so that wouldn't affect my sales anyway. So I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely them. I've gone through there's things you do as a reseller if you're not familiar, and I might do a thing about how to tweak your store and kind of help jog it. I've done that a few times, different things. I work on it constantly, but I'm taking, new pictures, this, that, the other thing, to try to jog the store, and nothing's helping. This time, nothing is helping. And if it's a matter of just you could search for things, but you're not going to find them because they're just magically disappearing, what the heck is that? Come on. I mean, it's just, they spend a lot of time trying to advertise for me to spend more money, but they're not doing what they need to do to even entice me to want to spend more money, because all this enticed me to do is try to find a new platform because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's just super. Everything's frustrating right now, between the prices at the thrift stores, the prices at the yard sales, the charging on the things that go on the with eBay and other platforms. It's just very frustrating right now. It's just, my patience with the whole thing is a little going out the window, and for all that complaining, I am grateful, truly, for what this has provided, because it is an opportunity to do something that I can do from home and not have to go out and supplement my income at a job that I'm, on my feet all day. This is fun. It's interesting. It takes up space in my house. And I do wish things were better and easier when it comes to just moving things along without dealing with algorithm issues. I understand if there's things that just aren't going to sell, but I have almost 5,000 things in my store. Okay. There's no way that it should be like this. In fact, it should be, because I have that many, I should have a lot more action going on in my store than I do. So it is a little infuriating. But because those things matter to eBay, the bigger your store, the more they want to have people see your stuff, because they want you to have this, a lot of offerings. And I have a variety of things. I'm not just niching in one area, but I don't know. I honestly don't know what the deal is, but it is what it is. So we're going to suck it up. Fourth quarter is just around the corner. Christmas will be here. I know it's summer, but believe me, just, come end of July, things start really changing the dynamic of, your business. And sometimes that really matters. People start shopping early for Christmas. So I really hope that happens early this year, because honestly, this is dreadful. I can't deal with how dreadful it is the last couple of months. So hopefully it'll get better. But I thank you guys all for watching and listening to my rant a little bit. If you liked the content and you liked what you saw, hit the like button and let YouTube's algorithm know that you like the content. Leave a comment. If you know anything about those Philly fanatics, by all means, give me a heads up, because I'm at a loss. Okay. But I am looking. If you saw anything you liked in the video, let me know what you think. And I will have another video coming soon. I do appreciate you taking the time, spend a little time with me this morning, and hang out and see the things and listen to the sagas of things going on in my world. And I hope you will come back and watch the next one, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button too. You'll know when I go live. I mean, not live, but when I record another video and drop it. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.